Hey guys, it's Trey back again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to continue on with our programming fundamentals. In the last video, we finished up our loops by doing the do while loop. If you haven't seen the videos on the loops from the last couple of videos, go ahead and go back and check them out. Today, we're going to be moving on and we're going to be looking at flow control. If you're not familiar with what flow control is, I'm going to go back to our lesson 3 and talk about the way we have written out our program, and then I'll explain what flow control is. So as you can see here in this program that we wrote a while ago, we see that when the program runs, it's going to read these lines one by one by one by one by one by one, all the way down here till it ends, and it's like, hey, there's nothing else to read, program done, right? So what flow control is when you want to change the order of the lines that are being read into the program. So basically, you know how here we're going 16, 17, 18, and we keep going, right? So there are some statements that you can write that will change the flow. So instead of it going 16, 17, 18, 19, you can make it go 16, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18. And as you've noticed, that sounds like a loop. So a loop is a form of flow control. So we're going to talk about a couple of other to finish out this series. We're going to talk about the if and the else statement today in this video. That's what we're going over. And then the next video will be functions. All right. So an if and an else statement. All right. These statements are there to basically do some logic if something's true or else do something else. That's what if and else means. Kind of self-explanatory. All right. So we're going to write out an example here to explain if else. All right. So I have right here some days of the week, and we're going to represent them by number. So 1 is equal to Monday, Tuesday is equal to 2, and so on, right? So let's say we wanted to write a program that would tell us if we should get something to eat after work or if we should go straight home. All right. So let's just say we only want to get something to eat after work on Fridays, right? So if today is Monday, which will be a 1, Tuesday, which is a 2, Wednesday, which is a 3, or Thursday, which is a 4, we want to go straight home. But if today is a 5, which is Friday, then we want to get something to eat. How would we write that in code? All right. So what we can do is we can use our new statement, which is if. All right. And then if is followed by parentheses. So open and closing parentheses. Inside of this if statement is where we will write a condition. All right. So if we go back to our loops, here we go. We go back to our loops and take a look at our for loop. You see this statement right here in the middle of our for loop? This is a condition. It's saying, is I less than the length of our array, okay? So this is going to either return true or false. A condition is going to return true or false, okay? So if we go down here, we look at our while loop, we have a condition here, which is the same condition. We're checking if the count is less than the length. That's a condition. It's going to return true or false. And then we also do the same thing here in our do while with the while. Same exact thing. Checks the count and it's going to return either true or false from this condition, okay? And we're going to do the same thing for our if statement. We need to put a condition in here. So our condition that we want to check for is if today is Friday, all right? So what I'm going to do is above our if statement here, I'm going to create a new variable. So we're going to say let today equal, let's just do 1 for now, okay? So today is going to be 1, which means it's Monday, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if today is equal to 5, because 5 is Friday. That's what we're checking for. So if today is Friday, which is 5, then we want to get something to eat. All right. So this is our condition. If this equals looks funny to you, this is how you check for equality in JavaScript. I'm not really going to go over this. I might put something in the description to explain the equals. So one equal sign is an assignment. We're assigning 1 to today. So today is now 1. Here we're checking if today is equal to 5 by putting 3 equal signs. So that's what that means. So if you get confused about that, just do a quick Google. You'll understand what it means. All right. So we're going to say if today equals 5, then we're going to put these curly braces here. So opening and closing curly brace. And I'm just going to put them on a new line and write it in between here. And then, so if today is 5, then we're going to console.log, which is just going to print to the screen. Get something to eat. All right. So if today is Friday, we're going to get something to eat. The program's going to tell me to get something to eat. Okay. And this is where our else statement comes in. All right. After this curly brace, we're going to put else, and then we're going to open another opening and closing curly brace. And inside of here, this is what happens if this is false, which it will be because right now we are setting today to 1. So it's going to basically say, is 1 equal to 5? No, it's not. So it's going to skip this entire first block. It's not going to run this code. And then it's going to go to this else block and run the code that's in the else block. However, if this was true, if today was 5, then this would be true. And then we're going to run this first block and not run this second block. Okay. So that's how we can use this if else. So let's go ahead and put our second condition here. I'm going to say console.log go home. All right. So now this program, what it's going to do is it's going to check today. It's going to see if it's Friday, which is equal to 5 in our case. And if it is, then it's going to print this out. And then it's going to end the program because it's going to skip over this. All right. But if this is false, then we're going to skip over this and print this out. All right. So the reason we call it flow control is because now instead of it just reading this line, then 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 this line, it's going to actually jump around depending on this line. This line determines what the next step is. It may not be the next line. It may be down here, you know? So that's what flow control means. All right. And our if and else statement are the prime examples for this. All right. So let's set this back to 1. I'm going to save this file and then we're going to go ahead and run it and see what we get. We should expect to see go home get printed out. All right. So I'm going to say node pf lesson 6.js and I'm going to hit enter. And as we expected, it printed out go home because today is Monday. All right. So let's go ahead and put 5 in. So today is Friday now. And now let's go ahead and run the same program. I saved it and I ran get something to eat because today is Friday. All right. So that is pretty much it for the if else statement. You can put any condition in here that boils down to a true or false statement. That's a Boolean. You can even put a Boolean value in here. So you can do something like this. Let is Friday. And then take this condition out. You can say is Friday. And then we'll set this is Friday variable to today equals 5. So this is going to return a Boolean. It's going to be a true or false statement. All right. So now, as we can see, is Friday is a Boolean, and then we can stick the Boolean inside of the if statement. So it doesn't have to be the condition itself. It could just be a Boolean value because the condition is going to return a Boolean value. So it's really the same thing. All right. Just wanted to make sure that you knew that you can put a Boolean in here. All right. And that's pretty much it for if else. Now there is another statement that can go along with this. So let's say on Mondays, we want to work out after work. All right. We want to go to the gym. All right. So what we can do is I'm just going to move this off the screen so that it's easier to tell what I'm doing. Okay. So we have this if, right? So we're going to say if is Friday, then we're going to get something to eat. But now we can kind of chain together our if and our else statement to make another condition, a different condition. So we can say else if, and then we can put another condition. And then we can say today equals 1, which is Monday. And then same thing, our curly braces. And then we can say console.log go to the gym. All right. And then now I'm going to pull up our old else statement up here. And there we go. So now you can kind of see that we can chain these together. So we can say, if it's Friday, then we're going to get something to eat. Else, if it's Monday, then we're going to the gym. Otherwise, if it's anything else, then we're going to go home. All right. So that's what we're going to do. And now I'm going to run this again with 1 again. So I'm going to do that. And we should go to the gym. All right. So I'm going to run this again. And as you can see, it said go to the gym. So what's happening here, as far as flow control goes, what's happening is we're just going to run this line. There's going to run this line. Then we're going to get to this if statement. It's going to check this condition. If is Friday, and we know is Friday is checking to see if today is equal to 5. At this moment, today is equal to 1. So it's going to say, is 1 equal to 5? No, that's false. So this statement is false. So we're going to skip over this. We're not going to run this code. Once we skip over this line, we're going to get down here to this else if statement. So it's going to run this line. So the flow control is we go from here, skip that line, and then get here. And then we're going to check this condition. Is today equal to 1? Today is equal to 1 at this moment. So we're going to run what's inside of the curly braces, which is this right here. So it's going to go from 15 to 16. And then it's going to skip over the rest of this because this statement was true. So it just, the rest of the chain doesn't even get checked. It just runs this and then skips over that. It gets down here to 20. So the lines of code that are actually run in this case right here is going to be 11, then 12, then 13, then 15, then 16, then 20. And that's it. So we skipped over all of this and all of that. All right. So that's just what flow control is. And today we learned about if else. That's pretty much it. You can chain these together. You can chain as many of these else ifs together as you want, and it'll just work. All right. So that's all for this one. The next video we'll talk about functions. I think I'm gonna wrap up the programming fundamentals. So I hope you guys there to see that one. Like and subscribe to the video and all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next video.